I'm calling to ask why there are no revised building capacities available on the district website regarding the referendum plan. When Dr. Alvik was superintendent, her administration put forth 3 possible referendum plans, and there was a chart that listed all 8 schools, their current building capacity, the added building capacity were that plan to go forward, and then the revised building capacity. And this information was important because it gives the public an idea of how many unhoused students will we have left if the referendum passes. And there's no such information on the district website today, and I would want some transparency on that. Also, on the district website, there's a timeline, and according to that timeline, it says that we're going to have a referendum in April. And I want to know if we're still on track for that, because I believe Mr. Gagliardi said something about a March referendum. So I want to get some understanding as to why there's a discrepancy there and why we don't have revised building capacity numbers. I mean, what will Applegarth's capacity be when this renovation and expansion gets complete? We don't know.
All right, Mrs. Chanley, would you like to discuss the referendum?
As far as building capacity, I would be happy to have a conversation with Dr. Lehman and also with Mr. Tague, and we will sit down and we will go through that and we will provide that information. Thank you.
So you don't know. You don't know right now how many unhoused students you would have left if this passes.
Respectfully, we make sure that we follow the guidelines that we need and all the information is provided. No, I do not currently have directly in front of me the specifics, but as I said, and I will be happy to repeat, the information will be provided. You asked for us to be transparent and to have it posted, and I will do so. Thank you.
I appreciate the fact that it will be posted. I also wanted to get an answer to my question about the timeline. Why does the district website say April, the referendum will be in April, and yet Mr. Gagliardi said March? If you could explain that discrepancy.
Mrs. Chanley?
Yes, we're very excited that we're currently in the queue to be moved up for a March referendum. We are currently waiting to see if that's a possibility. And the reason for that is, and I wish Mr. Tague was here to explain the specifics of it, but Mr. Tague had brought to our attention that there are 6 listed dates that we are permitted to have a referendum. It was brought to his attention by the electorate, is that the right terminology?
Yeah.
Thank you. I have to make sure I say the right word. By the electorate, that due to the fact that there is no other voting going on, particularly in April, that we would need to then pick an additional date. So we went ahead and went to the state. We utilized council to make sure that we followed all appropriate protocol and procedure. And it is, to my understanding, and I believe Mr. Gagliardi is ready and can speak on it, that we would be moving the referendum date up.
Okay, because this timeline was posted months ago, and I thought that was something that would be known well in advance. So I'm surprised about this late change in the date of the referendum. So it's just a little surprising.
I do want to make the statement again. We went ahead and conferred and confirmed the date well in advance. It wasn't until the individual from the township spoke to Mr. Tague where the understanding was brought to our attention that it would not be April and it would need to be another date.
So you think it's the township's fault that the district...
I'm going to make a statement again, and then I'm going to stop. I am not in any way, because we know that you take things out of context, I'm not making any statement that it's anyone's fault. I'm letting you know the conversation that occurred between 2 individuals, one that happens to work for the township, and then one happens to be Mr. Tague. If he was present, he would be speaking rather than third-person conversation. Unfortunately, he's not here. So I'm making the statement for those of you that are here and for those of you that are watching at home. I am placing no blame on anyone. I appreciate the wonderful working relationship we have with the township. I'm letting you know the situation that occurred, and I thank you very much.
And we're thrilled to get it going for March.
Exactly. Mr. Gagliardi, is there anything you need to add?
So you can have this referendum if the town were having an election in April, and you could have this election in November along with any election that's held second Tuesday after the first Tuesday after the first Monday, right? We know the Constitution. Statute also provides that there are 4 dates when you can have a special school election. Doing this by memory, but I believe it's the 4th Tuesday in January, the 2nd Tuesday in March, the 4th Tuesday in September, and the 2nd Tuesday in December. So when the town advised Mr. Tague that there was nothing that was going to be put out for a vote in April, which the town can do, the district had a choice, which is to accelerate the process and try to get it approved for a vote in March, or decelerate the process and have it put out to a vote in September. The hope is that with the state approval coming in January, if it comes, that you'll be able to do it in March. So we can't finalize that until we hear from the state, and we do not control that process. The only thing we control is getting all of the information before the state in a timely fashion. The district has been advised that the state has all the information it needs, and so if we get the approval in the second or third week of January, as the superintendent said, then it's my expectation that the board will be in a position to approve the vote based upon the March date rather than the September date.